But let's talk about a few ETFs, meaning funds that you can invest in to give you exposure to the broad economy. One example, VTI. This is an ETF that gives you exposure to the total stock market. This is created by an institution called Vanguard. If you buy one share of this on your stock brokerage, you're essentially buying the total stock market, a piece of all the companies that make up our stock market in the United States economy. ETF example number 2, SPY. This is an ETF that gives you exposure to the S&P 500. This is a group of the 500 largest companies in the stock market. So if one of these companies starts to not do good, they start to maybe go on the verge of bankruptcy, well, they get kicked out of the S&P 500 and they get kicked out of the fund and replaced with another company. This is an ETF that gives you exposure to that S&P 500. DIA is an ETF that gives you exposure to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is one of the oldest indexes out there, meaning groups of stocks out there, which is kind of like a little sample of the United States economy. Example 4, QQQ. This gives you exposure to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is a group of the 100 largest non-financial companies. So many of these are actually tech companies. So if you're investing in QQQ, you're investing in those 100 large non-financial companies, many of which are tech. And just for fun, I'm throwing in one more, VYM. I am personally invested in this one. This is an ETF that gives you exposure to dividend-paying companies, more specifically, high-yield dividend-paying companies. Again, this is created by Vanguard, so if you like cash flow, this is one that you can consider. But there are many other types of ETFs. This is just a way to get you started on your research.